If you are anything like me, you use the internet not so much for fun or for entertainment, but actually for learning things. Now, a lot of the times you encounter pieces of information that may be inspiring or maybe moving or I don't know, maybe useful to you, but not in that specific moment. And what happens is that if you don't apply it right away, or if you don't use that knowledge, it kind of goes to waste in a way because it didn't stay in your long-term memory. Now, I think that everybody that tries to learn or to grow already has some systems in place for dealing with organization of their files and knowledge and information that you gather from the internet. And I thought that I had a place for all of this with my bookmarks or in my folders and with my files. But the truth is that a lot of the times information was still getting lost, and I still had to look for things on the internet whenever I needed them instead of going through my files because it was just a mess. Earlier this year, I found something called building a second brain. And building a second brain gave me a very practical solution to this problem of storing knowledge and retrieving it when I need it. I want to talk to you a little bit in this video about why am I telling you this? Why is it important for you as a creative to have a system of organization? Specifically, I will tell you about building a second brain and what it is. You may be thinking, but Robert, I'm just a musician. Or Robert, I'm just a painter. Or Robert, I just like reading, but I mean, this thing about building a second brain, it just sounds like math. It just sounds like something too heavy for me to understand or even to apply. Why would I care about this? And I want to read to you one paragraph from this book that I have here. The author is Lev Kuleshov. As you can see, the book is falling apart, almost as a bit of a treasure. It's a book about cinema. And Lev Kuleshov is actually a very big figure in the cinema world. He did a lot of theories of editing and how images connect with one another and how the human brain works and how we understand films. It's a great book. What I want to read to you, and sadly it's in Spanish, I will make subtitles, so bear with me, guys. I couldn't find even the name of this book in English. Con las películas que ustedes realicen, cumplirán la misión de enseñar al espectador un nuevo orden de vida. Darles a los hombres nuevos un mensaje a través del pasado, presente y futuro de la patria y de toda la humanidad. Por eso deben conocer la historia universal a la vez que la de su país. Deben leer mucho y detalladamente, estudiar bien a los clásicos y a los autores modernos y dominar la teoría de la literatura y el arte dramáticos. Deben seleccionar y sistematizar lo leído y deben llevar una existencia activa y laboriosa, observando la vida y ordenando los conocimientos acumulados, aprendiendo a amar y a comprender la pintura, la arquitectura, la escultura, la música, la danza, el teatro, todas las formas del arte. So basically this text is telling you that even though you are a filmmaker or even though you are a creative or an artist, it's so important that you know about different arts and that you actually have a system for storing all of this knowledge that you accumulate over your life. When I read this, I started thinking more about, okay, how can I organize my thoughts? How can I organize my experiences? How can I gather all of these pieces of inspiration and information and save them and store them? And I started actually taking notes on many things. But like I'm telling you, it was just a mess, man. I had notes here, I had notes there, files here, files there. My bookmarks were all over the place. Emails, I had so many emails. I didn't know what was important, what was not important. So if you're a person that cares about learning, if you're a person that cares about minimalism, or if you're a person that cares about organization, about knowing where you put things and where you retrieve them, then building a second brain is something that really can be useful to you. And I'm not trying to sell you anything really, because even though building a second brain, and here I will go on my second point, what it is. If you start searching about it, you will find that it's actually a course. It's kind of a workshop or something like that. But more than a course or more than a workshop, it's a group of ideas. And it's a system. basically a way to learn and to manage your knowledge systematically. All of the ideas in the course, all of the ideas in this class that is given online are also in the website of the author, who is Tiago Forte. And actually, I haven't taken the workshop or the class because it's a little bit out of my budget. So all that I have done and applied is a bit of my interpretation. This system of building a second brain starts from the idea that our brain is for creating ideas, not for storing them. And if you have done any research, or if you know anything about productivity and you have studied or heard about something called GTD, which is getting things done, that's another system for dealing with actionable information. And it kind of uses the same core principle. But here, building a second brain is not only for actionable things, it's actually for information in general, things that you want to keep for reference. And the main framework of building a second brain is something that Tiago Forte calls code: capture, organize, distill, and express. This system has a lot to do with note-taking. If you learn the principles of building a second brain, you can build your own systems around things that you do, like watching YouTube or reading articles, or reading ebooks, or listening to podcasts. The main idea is this, that you have to find a way to capture, have to find a way to organize everything, have to find a way to distill or to get to the essence of this knowledge. And finally, you express it. You get this knowledge that you got, you remix it with other pieces of knowledge, and it comes out. Now, it doesn't sound so revolutionary, but it really is, like, especially like the organization part, for example. He made a system called PARA, which is projects, areas, resources, and archives. Every piece of information that you encounter any day can go into one of these sections. It's still a lot of information and a lot of points, a lot of aspects that I can dive really deep. So if you're really interested about this, tell me, and I will go more in detail in how I listen to podcasts, for example, how I make YouTube videos into podcasts, and I take notes on that. A lot of the time I'm listening to interviews or master classes from directors that I really admire and I want to learn something from them. And a lot of that is actually material that is for free on YouTube. And I'm trying not to waste my time, and really, whenever I have a chance to be listening and trying to extract the core or the essence of that, I do it and I organize it and then I remix it. A lot of these videos actually have come because of that. I will give you some links to some of the videos or some of the resources that I have been reading to learn a lot about second brain and how to organize these ideas and how to apply all of this. And I will also try to make a couple of videos that will go a little bit more into my own system for learning and for managing information and dealing with my notes or files, actually, because maybe the system starts with note-taking, but it actually expands to other areas. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.